All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on talking about prophecy and talking about a particular point of how the Israelites are focused on the major end result, right? The Hebrew Israelites are more focused on the major end result than the short-term minor details, man, or major details. So what kind of things I'm talking about in regards to that is like, okay, let's say that a Hebrew Israelite right now was to say, oh, I think that Harris is going to win. And another Israelite was to say that, oh, I think Trump's going to win in the election. That's the results are going to be found out today, later on today, right? And it turns out that they was wrong about who they predicted was going to win. But then that same Israelite says, I think Babylon the Great is America and that it's going to be destroyed. The Israelite might be wrong, which is a 50-50 chance that they could be wrong on the terms of the vote, who's going to win and become the next president, right? But they're not wrong about the whole thing of how they think America, which is Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed. And that's what this lesson is going to be about, man. That the ultimate thing that Israelites are focused on is the end result of this place falling, right? Not the minor details, man, which I personally think that it's going to be Trump that's going to win based on some other things that I've seen from some things that I've been reading into, like some things that I've been listening to, man. I personally think that that's going to take place. That Trump's going to win. That's my personal opinion, right? I think that it would make more sense based on some things that I've seen, that he's a better face for certain things that I think that America's going to start trying to do beginning next year. This is Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet that shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh has truly sent him. So what that's talking about is how, okay, the prophets in the past before Jeremiah always spoke about destruction and dark times coming. Whereas there's also people that are trying to talk, that try and talk in this world about, oh, they think that good things are coming. So then if two people say two different things, if one person's talking about peace and another person's talking about destruction, all you have to do is wait and see which one ends up happening. And then you'll know, right, which one Yahweh truly sent when the thing comes to happen, right? Because Yahweh's in control of all things that take place on the earth. Now, again, when it comes to short term, a false prophet can be correct in the short term. A false prophet can actually be correct in the short term, but in the long term, they're not correct, man. And I'm gonna prove why I just said that, because I read this earlier before putting the camera on as well. This is Deuteronomy chapter 13 and verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, right? So what that's talking about is if a person comes and tells you that something's going to happen, and then it actually does happen, but then that person says to you, come and let's serve other gods, you ain't supposed to go and do that. That's what it's going into, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahweh your God proveth you to know whether ye love Yahweh your power with all your heart and with all your soul. So it's a test. That's actually a test, man. It's actually a test sent from Yahweh when stuff like that happens, man. Just like how it can be a test from Yahweh when a real prophet can actually say, oh, I think that this is going to happen, and it might just be a short-term thing. They might say something and they might have slipped with the tongue, but then it don't happen, right? And that's a test to sift out people that are not real believers, man. That's actually a thing. And the apostles of Great Millstone have did that to people before, man. And I remember one particular scenario that I thought was funny, where they said that some Edomites came to the camp and kissed their feet, man. And I watched that live stream. that I watched that whole live stream. I'd watched that whole live stream as it was going on live, and there wasn't no kissing of the feet going on. but that was apparently a stumbling block that caused people to get angry, right? Because they wanted to see the kissing of the feet, but there weren't no kissing of the feet to be seen. You see what I mean? And then on a side note, on something that I heard Apostle Tahar say in a recent video when he was mentioning some cars that America has, right? And how America's trying to put tariffs on them and stuff like that. Like that made me start thinking about a video that Apostle Tahar made way back when the lockdowns came. That was entitled, and I tried to look for it, man. I tried to look for that video. I tried to go and go back through videos that I've liked in the past to see if I could find it, but that's thousands of videos. Like it's too difficult to try and do that, man, with all the videos that we end up watching. But I've really tried to have a good look to try and find where that video would have been. But the video was called "The Seas Are the New End." So if any of you brothers out there know what video I'm talking about, and you've got that on like a playlist or an archive or something like that, please like put that in this comment board or something like that so that I can watch that video again, man. Because when he was talking about the cars thing and the whole way how America's trying to put tariffs on their cars, it made me think about that video that he made way back about the seas is the new ends, meaning that Moabites are starting to now was starting to get treated like Jake when the lockdown came, right? Because people was blaming them for that whole thing. And based on some stuff that's going on anyway in the world, some things that I've been reading, it's coming like that kind of spirit's going to be coming back again with the whole but in a different way than we've ever seen before. And I remember when I was watching as well the brothers in the UK camp, and this is a bit of a side note on what I was talking about, but I remember I was watching the brothers in the last camp in the UK one, and they said that TikTok is going to be banned on the 19th. I think one of the brothers said on the 19th that TikTok is going to be banned on the 19th of January, right? And then through that, I started looking up some things, and I found out about some documents that was wrote by China, a document that was wrote by China in 2023, and then a document that was made by America that was also wrote in 2023. And based on those two documents, man, like there is gonna be beef between both of those countries, America and China, starting from next year, man, which ultimately will lead to prophecy. And I'm gonna get one of the ways how some of the things that are gonna happen between China and are gonna happen to the Moabites, man. One second, so like my mind's thinking about something else. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 46. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon and art the glory of her person. So what China, the whole Asia continent, like what they're trying to do is pretty much do what Esau does better than them. Right? They're just copied Esau in every single thing that Dave did, but Dev did it better. Like Apostle Tahar showed that car, the Yang Wang thing, the Yang Wang U9, the BYD Yang Wang car, and it's a pretty cool car, man. It's like got the engines on the wheels and all that. It can spin 360 degrees in like a tank turn and all that, right? And it does look good. Like it looks good. It's cheaper to make, and it would be worth, if it was an American car, it would be worth millions. But they'll sell it for like 250,000, 300,000 or whatever, right? But that's them just copying what Esau does, though. That's just them being the hope of what Babylon does. They're trying to be the new Babylon, basically. China is pretty much trying to be the new Babylon the Great. And if they had it their way, they'd have all the things that America's did, but they'd have it in China now. And then now everyone treats China like how they treat America. That's what the Chinese want, basically. They want to try and be the new America. You know what I mean? They want to have all the praise that America has right now. They want that praise. That's basically what they're doing, man. They're trying to copy every single thing that Esau does, or single thing that they think that Esau wants to do. They're jumping the gun and getting there before them, and perfecting the things that Esau makes and making Esau's creations better than what even he can make them. That's basically what they're doing, right? And that's one of the reasons what is causing America to be angry with them and to be envious of their success that they're starting to get, man. Which is one of the ways how this prophecy that I'm reading now can be caused to come to pass, right? Um, Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which thou hast always desired to commit whoredom with thee, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Exactly. They're copying, making all the same creations that Esau makes, all the same type of things. They're making them too. They're following all the same trajectory that America followed. They're doing the same things, right? And they're thinking in their mind, oh, this is going to cause us to be better than them because we've got our people on lock even more than America's got their people on lock. We ban certain things. We don't allow our citizens to get away with the things that they allow. So if we are able to become the new superpower of the world, we'll be even stronger than them. And they're thinking that that's going to work. But when you understand the major prophecies, right, it's not going to work because this prophecy says that it's not going to work. So we believe this. Now, in the short term, and like figuring out how every single detail is going to take place to where this prophecy does come to be fulfilled, we don't necessarily need to know that. It would help to know, because then you can guide the believers to know, okay, just be prepared for this and prepared for that. Don't get too carried away with this and that. But you only need to know the main end goal, right? You don't need to know nothing else. If you're trying to catch somebody, you only need to know exactly where they're going to end up. You don't need to chase them all around. You just need to know where they're going to, if you know what I mean? If you was trying to look for somebody and you know that at the end of the day they're going to come home, all you need to know is where they live. You don't need to know where they went at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3. You just need to know where they're going to end up. And Esau is going to end up in captivity under the Israelites. That's what we know. Babylon the Great is going to get destroyed. That's what we know. We're going to be immortal as Israelites. That's what we know, right? The major end goal. We don't need to know every single minor detail, yet we still look and try and see, okay, oh, so the major thing, the major outcome that we're waiting for can potentially happen from this. Okay, the major outcome that we're looking for can potentially happen from that. But it doesn't even matter if we are necessarily wrong on the minor details and how it gets to the major end outcome, because we know that we believe in faith that the end outcome is going to happen. So we don't need to know every single detail, right? Verse 49, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death. And that's what's going to happen, man. Like, based on some things that I've been reading, man, America and China, which will ultimately end up resulting in left several other countries against China as well, right? Several other countries in Europe would be against China. It's going to end up causing for China to lose out on money, man. That's what's going to cause to happen. Which we don't even need to know the minor details and how this is going to happen. We believe it's going to happen in general because it's in the prophecies, right? Verse 50, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastened with wounds, so that the mighty and the lovers shall not be able to receive thee. So what's that talking about? How they're going to lose money. They're going to be weakened, right? Now, we don't even need to necessarily know how, but we know that it's going to happen. It would help to know how, but we don't need to know how. We don't need to say, oh, I think it's going to be this way, how. We just know the main end goals, right? That they're going to lose, and that the Israelites, us, the Negro, Latino, and Native American, we're going to win, right? We know the major outcomes. Babylon the Great being destroyed, our heathen enemies being underneath us, Yahweh Shai's return, the MOTB prophecy being made mandatory, right? The way how they end up bringing in the MOTB prophecy, we don't necessarily know how that's going to happen, right? And yet we know that it's going to happen though, right? We know that the MOTB is going to be made mandatory. We don't know necessarily exactly what method they're going to use to make it be though, but we know that it's going to happen. Whereas you've got some people out there, scoffers, that they don't believe that it's going to happen at all. So then when it does happen, what are they going to say? Because they're still going to be a person that's a Bible. Like, you've got scoffers of the Israelites that claim to be Bible believers. So when that prophecy, when that does happen on earth, are they going to say that that's Bible prophecy, or are they going to say that it's something else? How are they going to explain why it's happening? Because they don't believe that Revelation 13 and 16 is talking about the MOTB, the micro C hit being made mandatory. So how are they going to explain why that's happening? What Bible verse are they going to go to? You see what I mean? Because it would surely have to be prophecy. That would surely be a major prophecy, right? But what are they going to say? You see what I mean? Are they going to try and push it off as though, oh, this is not part of prophecy, but it's just something that we have to go through. It's a trial. Like, what are they going to say? Because that's a major thing. There's never been a time before where get made to have to decide whether you want to be part of the society and put something inside of your body that allows you to buy and sell things. That's never happened before. So how are these people going to explain that away? Verse 52. Would I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith Yahweh, if thou hadst not always slain my children, exulting with the stroke of thine hands, and saying over their dead, when thou wast drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance? The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom, therefore thou shalt receive recompense. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith Yahweh, even so shall God do unto thee, and thou shalt and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. So that means that death's being prescribed for Asia. That's what the prophecies are saying. Now, do we need to know exactly the way how it ends up taking place? No. We don't need to, but we know it's going to happen. So therefore, we're going to look and see what's happening between these places to see how it's going to happen. But yet we are understanding that it's going to happen regardless, man. You know what I mean? Just like how America is going to be destroyed, and we know that America is going to be destroyed because it's Babylon the Great, and it's going to be destroyed by its own allies its own former allies are going to turn against it. But we are going to be looking then for things that would make their allies of America turn against it. And if America decides to make China an enemy around the world, would that not be a thing that would cause all the other countries to start looking at America sideways? Because all the world gets a lot of its things from China. Most things that people have around the world are made from China. Most things. So then people would end up having to decide between, okay, who should we pick between them? America or China? You know? That people will end up having to make business decisions, man. Decisions for their people, and the decision is going to be made. Whatever decision is going to be made anyway is going to be about America's a problem. That's what we know. It doesn't matter what's going to cause them to come to this realization, but they are going to come to the realization that America is a problem on the earth. They're going to come to that conclusion. Verse 57. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountain shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread, and thirst of water. Thou as unhappy shall come through the sea, and receive plagues again. Basically, man, you Moabites are going to start getting judged too, right? With your proud selves, man. America's going to get it as well. Like, all these places are going to end up getting judged ultimately anyway. All these different enemies of the Israelites. But we don't need to know we don't need to know that every single little detail on how these things are going to happen, yet we still watch for these things. We just need to understand that it's going to happen in general. And through us understanding that it's going to happen in general, we are going to pay attention to things that could cause it to take place. Whereas you've got some scoffers that they don't want to even look at anything, that they'll complain about us saying that the MOTB is the micro C hit, right? But what can cause for you to be able to buy and sell that can go inside your hand or your head? What can? Is there, like, I know some people want to try and say, oh, that's talking about a spiritual, but is there anything that can physically do that? Considering buying and selling is physical. And that's what you don't want to be, the kind of person that just scoffs and runs your mouth, but then you ain't got no answers yourself. You don't want to be that kind of individual in life. That's the kind of person that nobody likes to want to, you know what I mean? You can't get any kind of wisdom from somebody like that. Just downplaying what everybody else says, but don't say nothing themselves. Revelation chapter 13, and that's what Vocab Malone is. For the most part, that's him. He's putting up comic community posts about 8 years of debating against Israelites. How about 8 years? Why is that your works then? That you're worthy for you to get in the kingdom of heaven? Scoffing, telling other people what they think's not right. You know what I mean? But then in your 8 years, you're not in his 8 years of telling the Israelites that they're wrong. He doesn't have certain answers on certain Bible prophecies. Maybe it seems like he should have left them alone and completed his own doctrine first. Considering if them Israelites was to have stopped believing what they believe and have turned to what he's saying, based off his own admissions, based on things that he said, he doesn't even have the complete answers, alternative answers to give them to prove what they're saying, what they have is wrong. One of his contentions with the Israelites is that we're wrong, right? But then he doesn't even have a completed doctrine himself. So every single Israelite, let's say they admit, okay, we're not really Israelites, we're Gentiles. You was right, Mr. Malone, we're going to come and follow you now. They're going to be as unsure as he is on certain scriptures. Whereas among the Israelite thing, they had answers for certain Bible verses that him, as a Christian, he doesn't have the answers for that. So why would anyone stop what they believe in to follow him when he doesn't even have the answers? And of his 8 years' works, he wants to try and boast about coming up against Israelites and that, but then doesn't have answers for certain Bible verses and hasn't seeked to get the answers, like how he seeks to find out what Israelites do in their personal lives and all these kind of things, and who wrote a book here, who's selling vitamins, who's doing this, who's doing that, as if he don't sell things on his channel. If anyone's going to be the person laughing at somebody for selling vitamins, right, and getting on people for stuff like that, it shouldn't be him. Because on his YouTube channel, does he have things for sale on there? Does he have things for sale on his YouTube channel? But he's coming up against another Israelite for selling vitamins, which maybe whether they should be selling vitamins or not, like, okay, fair enough. Maybe not. You know what I mean? Maybe they shouldn't be. But is he the person to be saying anything about that when he's selling things on his website? T-shirts, stickers, mugs, coffee mugs and that. So he can't say anything himself because he's a hypocrite then. And then he was trying to, on that video, he was trying to laugh about that and was but he would do it if he could get his congregation to buy coffee or buy things from him, he would. Because he don't tell the people to return the money when they send it on the super chats and all that. He don't tell them that. He made a book. Oh, let's not even mention that. He made a book too. So he can't be saying nothing. He made a book. But he's trying to talk about people selling vitamins. He made a book. He didn't just say, you know what, all you need to come up against the Israelites is the true doctrine of the Bible. He made a book to try and say, oh, this is how this book will help you scoff, basically. But he's trying to talk about people selling vitamins, him. If anyone's going to be rebuking that, it shouldn't be him doing it. Because he's selling books. You know what I mean? Like this, but these guys are hypocrites. But anyway, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and the cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, people might say, oh, that's spiritual. But is there something that can physically go in your hand or in your head and cause you to buy and sell? Answer that question. All you scoffers out there, answer that question. Is there anything that exists in the physical world? Okay, we understand that the spiritual world exists, but is there anything that exists in the physical world that can go in your hand or in your head and make you buy and sell items with it? Does that exist? Oh, I don't really know. I ain't really did no research. Well, why not? Why haven't you did no research? You did research on every single how many different Israelite camps there are. Oh, there's the ICGJC, there's the IT3CG. Oh, there's this one, and this one. This one's got a 501c3. That one's got a that one and that one. Oh, the head of this one is this. Oh, this one is this. And then this one, there was the one West, and then they changed off, and there was an executive branch. I know all these madness that you want to say. Oh, this man here, he was called Abba, and then and he had a dream, and then this one here, and he was told in a bar that, you know what I mean, and you've got all this history on all of this, but you ain't did none of the history on certain things about prophecies. Why not? You're not going to get into the kingdom of heaven because you was able to stop 50. Oh, how many Israelites did you stop believing that they're Israelites? Oh, well, I was able to make 50 believe that they're not Israelites no more. Okay, you're in the kingdom. That's not how it's going to work. You ain't going to, all you scoffers ain't going to get into the kingdom because you scoffed Israelites. That's not how it works. You're going to have to get in the kingdom for your own faith. You're going to get in the kingdom from your faith, not because of being a scoffer. You know what I mean? If you want to scoff, you know you still have to actually understand what's going on for real though, right? You're saying we're wrong, so what's the right way then? And that's a big thing that Christians do not have amongst themselves. They're quick to tell everyone what's wrong, right? But they don't have none of the actual answers. They're quick to laugh, they're quick to mock, but then you ask them a question, what you saying? Oh well, cricket mode. You know what I mean? You hear a pin drop. What's that saying in the world? You hear a rat pissing on cotton. You know what I mean? When it comes to asking them a question, then all of a sudden it's cricket mode now. But when they're laughing at the Israelites, they believe in spaceships. Yeah, but you know that there's people in the real world like that own telescopes and stuff like that, and they say that they see UFOs. So how do you explain those things by the Bible? Oh yeah, exactly. Oh well, you've got these camps. You've got camps like this one and this, and camps like this, that they believe that reincarnation's in the Bible because of a misconstrued version of what it says about Elijah. Okay, what do you think? What do you think it means then? How about that for once? What do you think? Oh, and you've got certain camps that they believe that the MOTB is this, but no, it's not that. No, it's not. I'm V Malone, and it's just not that. Okay, what is it then? What is it? Well, it could be this, and it could be that, and I could be wrong, but what they're saying it's just not that. Oh, so you don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but then because I don't know, them black people definitely can't know because as you can see, I'm a so-called white man. And if I don't know it, nobody else could possibly know it. That's the arrogance of you wacky ass. And that's why y'all get called wacky tacky ass Christians, man. Because you are whack as hell. Straight trash. Quick to tell everyone else they're wrong, but don't know the answers for your own self, man. But the Hebrew Israelites, that's what this lesson's about. The Hebrew Israelites, we know the major end outcome. We don't need to know every little intricate detail, man. Whereas you Christians don't want to know either. You Christians don't try and say like, I think, oh, this kind of thing here could lead to this prophecy taking place. Neither do you think that it's even necessary to understand what the end result is. Y'all are talking about y'all saved now. And I'm thinking, saved from what? What are y'all saved from? What is it that you're designed to be saved from? What is it? The Christian doctrine's so trash that they basically just say, as after you've been baptized in some water, which you don't even know the pH value of that water. You know what I mean? And then now you're saved? Like, how? Saved from what, man? Ridiculous doctrine. But anyway, I'm going to end the lesson there, man. The Hebrew Israelites know the end goal. We know that we have faith in what we believe the major outcome is. Not every single little minor detail, man. Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.